Good evening and welcome to Hungary Report, starting off Public Media M1's foreign language news hour. I'm Csenga Gabriela Iboya with today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's begin. There has been a lot of movement at the southern border on Saturday. Authorities have taken action against 83 illegal immigrants. Police conducted coordinated inspections in 4 counties simultaneously. This is how 11 migrants were found in a minibus with a Romanian license plate near Győr.
On Sunday morning, men claiming to be Afghan and Syrian citizens tried to cross the border in this minivan. The migrants heading for Austria were returned to the temporary border fence after their interrogation, while their Romanian driver was prosecuted for human trafficking, said the officer of the Győr-Moson-Sopron County Police Headquarters. Given that the passengers could not provide credible proof of their legal stay in Hungary, my colleagues will escort the apprehended illegal migrants to the temporary security border after their hearing, the police spokesperson said. This was not the only attempt to cross the border in the last few hours. Police managed to stop 4 illegal border crossings in 4 southern counties as well. Jewish communities in Hungary are safe, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade wrote on his social media page. In his post, Péter Szijjártó responded to the words of German Secretary of State Michael Roth, who accused Hungary of anti-Semitism. At the same time, Péter Szijjártó asked the left-wing politician to end his unworthy attacks on the Hungarian people and suggested that the next time he spoke on such a topic, he should take a look around his own house. Due to the German politician's statement, Péter Szijjártó asked the German ambassador to Hungary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Monday. In his social media post, he wrote, since he'll be in China by then, the ambassador will be received by Deputy Minister Levente Magyar. Today is the European Day of Remembrance for the victims of totalitarian dictatorships. The victims of communism and Nazism are remembered all over Europe. 81 years ago, the Soviet-German non-aggression pact, known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, was signed on this day. And in a secret clause, Europe was divided amongst themselves.
Survivors and their family members commemorated the victims of totalitarian dictatorships in Budapest in front of the Gulag Memorial at Honvéd Square. The monument to the victims was the first in the world to be erected, shortly after the regime change in 1993. Clara Hartmann, one of the survivors, was arrested at the age of 14 and then taken to a Gulag camp in the Soviet Union on charges of espionage. I returned home after 9 years. As a young woman, I worked as a mason, and then I became a nurse. I think of my life as a nice and affectionate one. However, those 9 years of my youth will remain indelible forever. I've been in the prison and the youth camp of Kiev and returned home from Kazakhstan. They took my youth away, my happiness, and I was deprived of the opportunity of studying, the survivor recalled. Member states of the European Union, on the initiative of Hungary, Poland and Lithuania, made August 23rd the European Day of Remembrance for victims of totalitarian regimes in 2011. 81 years ago on this day in 1939, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact was signed, which, among others, made much of Eastern Europe a Soviet sphere of interest. The best way to get to know history is from our ancestors, so I strongly encourage everyone to ask their families what happened if there were victims among their relatives. Not talking about a tragedy such as this can end up poisoning a person, the organizer of the commemoration said. The Deputy State Secretary for Civil Society Relations pointed out at the commemoration how important it is for the youth to learn about the past. We Hungarians cannot forget either. We can't rise above the dark sins and atrocities of our past. We have to keep these in mind and raise awareness in future generations too, so that such wrongdoings won't ever happen again, the State Secretary said. He added the 70-year-long inhuman rampage of communism demanded about 100 million victims worldwide.
The celebratory August 20th Mass of the Hungarian community in Rome was about St. Stephen's teachings. The Mass was presented by the rector of the Pontifical Hungarian Institute in Rome, the new pastor of the community in the chapel of St. Stephen's House in Rome. Father Norbert Németh stated in his homily, on the celebration of the founding of the state, it is not enough to roam in the past and dream of the future, we must live in the present. And the end of the Mass, bread tied with a Hungarian ribbon, was also blessed.
The teaching of Saint Stephen in Rome is particularly important since he founded a house of pilgrimage here in Rome.
The Pálos Pauline order bus arrived at the first stop of its Transylvanian road trip. The only Hungarian-founded travelling exhibition of male monks can be seen in several settlements in secular land in the upcoming days. The reason behind the trip is so that the Paulines can popularise themselves and their order.
The Christian faith is an important heritage of St. Stephen. This is what our lives should be built on, warns the message of the followers of Blessed Eusebius. Bishop József Tamás spoke about this at the feast of St. Stephen's Chapel in Hargitafurdó. Hundreds of people made a pilgrimage to the settlement near Híradó to celebrate together with locals and with the Order of St. Paul, which had moved back to Transylvania in 2014. For those in the Pauline order, this year is the year of Eusebius of Esztergom. Our father Eusebius passed away 750 years ago, the prefect of the monastery said. This is why an exhibition bus was created depicting the history of the order, which had arrived at its first Transylvanian station. The story of the Order of St. Paul can be traced back through a multimedia presentation in the bus, a film screening and a photo exhibit. Pages of the most beautifully decorated medieval Hungarian manuscript, the Festetics Codex, written in the Pauline monastery in Nagyvázsony, can also be studied virtually. I thank God I was able to come here, to have seen this, and I thank them for coming. There are so many beautiful things here, and it's just elevating to know that they're ours, that they are Hungarian, and that they are here in Transylvania, a visitor said. Next week, the exhibition bus will travel to Székelyudvarhely, Csíkszereda, Kézdivásárhely and Csíksomlyó.
The 10th International Dog Show in Székelyudvarhely ended today with spectacular programs. Thousands of dogs were entered for the 4-day event, but there were also club exhibitions, while Hungarian dog breeds were introduced. But the audiences could also see dogs completing obstacle tracks and dancing with their owners.
Without a leash, the owner only instructs the 2 border collies with hand signals and beeps. The breed is considered one of the smartest dog breeds in the world. This time, on command, both dogs began to twirl on 2 legs at the same time. Dogs could be seen jumping around their owners who laid on the ground. Their joint presentation was a huge hit with the audience. Dancing, music, and harmony between dog and owner. This described the dog dancing that's popular in Hungary too. It was one of the most interesting programs on the closing day of the International Dog Show in Székelyudvarhely. Owners and their 4-legged friends could demonstrate their skills and tricks in different categories of dog dancing. They strive to raise attention to Hungarian dog breeds too at the event, as on this obstacle course designed according to international standards, where dogs had to complete the tasks with the least amount of mistakes as fast as possible with the help of their owners. It started 30 years ago in America, but even there they began the sport with a Hungarian dog, a shepherd breed. It spread through the whole world. By now it became the most popular dog sport, the main organizer said. The anniversary event was originally to be held in spring, but due to the virus situation, it shifted to the end of summer. Despite stricter rules, more than 5,000 dogs perform in front of judges and the audience, which shows the popularity and quality of the show.
From the Elizabeth Lookout Tower located on János Mountain, we can not only see Budapest in its entirety, but we can also observe the surrounding settlements and landscapes at a distance of several tens of kilometers. It is no accident, as it is the highest point in the capital. Built in the neo-Romanesque style and opened in 1910, the circular building is 23.5 meters high and leads up to the top level with 100 steps. At the base of the perimeter, the building is 53 meters. And a black panther, white tiger and African wild dogs. The XANTUS János Zoo in Győr awaits its guests with several special animals. During the animal demonstrations, the caretakers tell stories about the animals and their origins to those who are interested, and people even have the opportunity to feed giraffes from the palm of their hands. Well, that's all for now, but don't forget you can catch Hungary Reports every night after 11 o'clock news and online as always. Do stick around and watch our German, Russian and Chinese language news. Thank you for watching and have a lovely evening.